Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever wanted to make your stories sound way more exciting? Make them really pop? Well, today we're going to learn a little secret. How some words can paint amazing pictures right inside our minds. Let's get started.
So, think about the last time you told a story. Maybe you said something like, I saw a dog in the park. And that's cool, but what did the dog look like? Was it a huge dog, a tiny fluffy dog? See, without those little details, our stories can feel a bit, well, plain. Kind of like a drawing with no color.
But what if I told you that you have the power to add all that color and all that excitement just by using a few special magic words? Yep, it's totally true. With the right words, you can take a simple story and make it something everybody wants to hear.
So, what are these super powerful words called? They're called adjectives. An adjective is just a describing word. That's it. It adds more detail about a person, a place, or a thing, which we call a noun. You can think of yourself as an artist, but instead of using paint, you're using words to make a really clear picture for anyone listening.
Okay, to really see how this works, let's pretend we're taking a walk through a park near our house. Come on. As we look around, we're not just going to see things, we're going to describe them. All right, look around with me. See that tree over there? It's not just a tree, it's a tall tree. And the grass we're walking on? It's so green. Ooh, look at that slide. It's shiny and red. And if you look up, you can see some really fluffy clouds. Oh, and look, a super playful puppy is running around. See? These describing words just make everything so much more real and interesting, don't they?
Here's a perfect example of how just one little word can change everything. Think about this sentence. The clever fox fooled the crow. That one word, clever, tells us so much about the fox. It wasn't a silly fox or a slow fox. It was a clever one. That single word paints a much bigger, more exciting picture in our heads.
Okay, now here comes the really fun part. You don't always have to find these describing words. You can actually make them yourself. It's like word magic. Let's check out a couple of ways you can do this. So one easy trick is to start with a noun. A word for a person, place, or thing. So you take a word like storm and just add a Y to the end to get stormy. The noun dirt becomes the adjective dirty. Or you can add full to a word like care, and you get careful. Just like that, you're making your own describing words. How cool is that? And guess what? We can do the same thing with verbs, which are our action words. So, if you like to play a lot, that means you are playful. If you help your friend, you are being helpful. It's such a simple way to build up all the describing words you know.
All right, now that we have all these amazing describing words, we can start using them to compare things. Like, is one flower taller than another? Or is that building the tallest one in the whole city? Let's see how that works.
Okay, so picture this. You see a flower. It's a tall flower. Then you see another one right next to it, and it's even higher. So you'd say it's a taller flower. But then you see a third one that's way above both of them. That one is the tallest flower in the whole garden. See that? Tall, taller, and tallest. It's a really easy way to compare things.
But hold on, some words are a little bit tricky. They're like rule breakers. They don't just add ER or EST. Let's look at a couple of really common ones that like to play by their own rules. Let's check out two words we use all the time, good and bad. You wouldn't say your drawing is gooder than your friend's, would you? That just sounds silly. Instead, we say it's better. And if your drawing is the number one absolute top drawing in the whole class, it's the best. It works the same way for bad. It becomes worse,
and then worst. These two are really important to remember. So there you have it. You now know what adjectives are, how you can make new ones, and even how to use them to compare stuff. You are totally ready to start your own amazing adventure with words. Here's a great thing to remember. Every single word has an important job to do. And the job of an adjective is to help us tell a more complete, more colorful story. They add those little details that make our descriptions clearer and honestly a lot more fun to listen to. So from now on, I want you to be a word explorer. Yeah. When you're reading a book or just walking home from school or talking with your family, really listen for those describing words. Try to see how many you can find and then use them in your own stories. So, I have one last question for you. I want you to look around right now wherever you are. What do you see? Is it a bright screen? A comfy chair? Maybe a sunny window? The world is just filled with things to describe, so what describing words will you discover today? Happy exploring!